Now, the swearing-in of the new national executive of the Government of National Unity will take place in Cape Town later this morning. President Cyril Ramaphosa named the ministers of the Government of National Unity late on Sunday, following weeks of deadlock that delayed the formation of this historic government coalition. For more on what's expected to take place today, we take you now to Cape Town as we cross to our reporter Abra Barbier, who is there to give us a sense of what to expect later today. Abra, good morning. So much anticipation, of course, as we wait for the work of government to get underway. But talk to us about the preparations and also what to expect as the day unfolds.
Sakina, good morning. Yes, much anticipation, but also a bit of a shock that the swearing-in came to Cape Town. Everyone, of course, was expecting it to take place in Pretoria, but then on Monday night, we got the message that it was, in fact, going to be done here in Cape Town. So the SABC in the Western Cape, of course, we've rallied our troops, and we are all here ready to help you watch everything unfold. At the moment, there's just preparation. Seatley is moving the camera around. There's just preparations happening. Of course, we have none of the dignitaries here yet. They will all arrive later on, as well as Chief Justice Raymond Zondo, who will be presiding over the swearing-in. So we have lots of preparations. We have media houses setting up. We've got the ER24 emergency people coming to make sure that everything is up to standard. We've got the presidency's VIP team just to make sure that all the delegates will be safe today. They might have a security swoop later on, as they normally do, and chuck us out for a few minutes. But as things stand, everything seems to be on track. And of course, the highlight of today will be the swearing in of President Cyril Ramaphosa's new executive of national unity. So there have been lots of talks about it being a bloated cabinet and executive, it being a huge cabinet and executive, because this is the largest executive that we've seen in our democracy. But all that is now behind us. The swearing-in is taking place today. We're hoping to have analysis as the day goes by to try to understand why, for instance, we have 2 deputy ministers in some of the portfolio. What the president did say was that as much as he wanted to reduce the executive to accommodate all the parties, all the GNU parties in this agreement, in this arrangement, he had to, in fact, expand the cabinet more than what he would have liked to. This, of course, has impact on the taxpayer, because having a bigger cabinet means having more ministers and more deputy ministers to pay, and their jobs come with certain perks, which affects the national fiscus, and that of course affects you and I on the ground. So organizations like OUTA have expressed concern. They're not happy about this, but as I say, the president did say he had to do this to accommodate all his GNU partners. Sakina?
Well, Abra, just a quick one on the time that proceedings are likely to kick off, and of course also just reading that some of the withdrawal of some of the motions by the ANC. So just to talk to us very briefly about that.
The proceedings will kick off at 11 o'clock. I assume you're talking about what happened in the National Assembly yesterday, when there were delegates who were supposed to be appointed to certain, for instance, like the JSC, various organizations, parliamentary organizations, delegates had to be appointed, and the ANC chief whip, in fact, said that that would not be happening yesterday due to further consultations that need to take place. I speak under correction. I think it's only MPs who are going to be part of the PAP. The Parliamentary African Union, who are going to be part of that, who have been appointed, but the others, that will happen within the next few days or weeks, I think. Of course, we know it's the opening of Parliament. We can call it the opening of Parliament this year and not a SONA like we normally do, because it will be the official opening of the 7th Parliament on the 18th of July. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done, not just behind the scenes, but of course the ministers in their various portfolio, the deputy ministers. This, in fact, is the start of the practical side of the GNU. So I'm sure all ministers from across the parties are going to be working really hard to basically to show South Africa what they can do within their portfolio, especially the opposition party ministers who now have this opportunity to, or as they have been saying, to fix things within their portfolio. We do know, however, that policy that has been decided by Cabinet, that policy stays. So even though other parties have been saying that they are going to be introducing their own policies, that they're not going to be implementing ANC policies within their portfolio, that in fact is not the case, and all ministries will have to stick to policies that have already been decided on. Sakina?
Well, thanks so much, Abra. And of course, Abra Barbier and the rest of the team will keep us abreast of developments as that swearing-in will take place later today. And as Abra says, a bit of a surprise that it's gone down to Cape Town, but the team is ready and waiting to talk to us through that. And this is, of course, for the executive that will be taken through that by the Chief Justice.